welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at Robo Revolution Superheroes Drikold, or Drikold, or it's a knockoff Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. Not a whole lot of information on this guy. I saw Baltmatrix do a review on this a while back, and he had commented that Sir Toys had sent him a copy for review, so he put a link to it, and I watched his review, fell in love with it, and immediately went on the link and purchased one myself. This was back in December of 2015. Last I checked, the figure was no longer available, but as I remember, it was really, really cheap. Unfortunately, I have a bad memory, and I don't remember how much it cost me, but I do remember that shipping was almost as much, if not more, than the figure itself cost. So if that tells you how cheap the figure was. And it's a very cool little, almost deluxe size figure. And what they did something really cool here. They took like the Generations or the Universe Inferno mode, which a lot of people had already customized into Optimus Prime, and basically that's what they did. They took that mold and made it a little smaller, but they customized it into an Optimus Prime. However, the front of the figure is not that Generations or Universe Inferno mold that we're used to. This looks more like an Energon Optimus Prime, so it kind of makes this cool little mix of the two figures that I really, really enjoy. Here in truck mode, Optimus, I'm just going to call him Optimus. It's approximately 4.5 inches long. He's about 2 inches tall, without counting the gun here. So he's got this little gun in the back here. I guess this is supposed to be his water cannon, and it just moves up and down that much, but that's it. Not a whole lot there. It rolls just fine. Detail-wise, he's just fine. Now, he's got these black panels here. That I really don't know why they chose to go with black. They should have just gone with red on these, because these are just going to fold into his back anyway. So I don't know why they went with black. Wheels could use a little silver paint. I'm probably going to do that. And other than that, I mean, he's a good enough looking little fire truck. I really, really like this figure a lot. For comparison, here he is with the RID Deluxe Prime. There I go, putting him in the back again like I always do. There you go. So just so you can get a size comparison. So he makes a good size deluxe figure, which I think it's nice. It's a good size for him. The windows on the side, unfortunately, not painted. I wish they would have painted these. That would have been nice. But other than that, maybe follow along. You see there's some inconsistencies in the paint. They've got the silver, nice silver paint on the bumper that goes up over the wheel well, but only halfway. And then the other half of the wheel well is just left unpainted, which is odd to me. And then again, that black panel is weird, and the windows, they painted the two front windows, but not the side windows. It's kind of weird that they went with that. But other than that, cool little figure and a cool little fire truck, and that's about all there is to say about that. Transformation is super simple. If you're already familiar with the Universe mold, then you're going to be familiar with this guy as well. Fold these flaps down, separate the arms, and bring these guys forward. Now, the rifle, gun, water cannon, whatever, it's got these two pegs, one on each side, and these guys were pegged into these holes on the insides of the arms there and there. So just unpeg that, set it aside for now. There's something that's odd about that cannon. We're going to address that here in a second. Take these black panels here and pop these open, and just leave them popped open for the moment. 2 pegs on each, and then 2 ports on the side of the legs here. Bring the legs all the way down, and then rotate him at the waist. Then bring these panels and close them into the back. And you can see what I meant there. These panels are just going to go right on his back. Why not paint them red? I don't know. Unpeg his legs, just like so. There's a peg and a port on each leg. There you go. Then bring the arms down and rotate them. And am I rotating them in the right direction? Yes, I am. There I am. Bring the arm down, rotate, and finally bring the head around. Bring the camera up because we got tall. And there is Optimus Prime in robot mode, and I really love the way this guy looks. Here in robot mode, Optimus is approximately 5.5 inches long. Detail-wise, he does leave a little to be desired. Bring him in a little closer for the head sculpt, and you can see right away that this is the Energon Optimus Prime head sculpt. In fact, the entire torso is reminiscent of that Energon Optimus Prime, which is not a bad thing. He's actually well proportioned, so he doesn't look fat the way that many people complain about Energon. So you can see right away that's the Energon head sculpt, which is not a bad thing. Unfortunately, there are no earpieces, which really kills the Optimus Prime motif to this figure. I really wish he had those earpieces. Other than that, the rest of the figure looks fantastic. Articulation-wise, the head is solid. No articulation there, unfortunately, which is a shame because it looks like it would have been easy to put this on a ball joint and maybe even be able to swap heads out later, but they didn't go with it. But again, it was a very, very cheap figure. So rotation at the shoulder, you got in and out at the shoulder, you got rotation at the bicep, nothing at, or 90 at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. You do have a little bit of waist rotation, and that was due to transformation. Also, the hips, all the way in there, those are on a ball joint. However, you're not going to get a whole lot of motion out of them. You're going to get a little bit of forward and backwards. You get a little bit of rotation on the hip, and you get a little bit of out. But that's it. Again, you're hindered by all the skirt that's around them. You do get a 90 at the knee, and that is going to be about it. But not bad. Again, for as cheap as this figure was, and I really wish I could remember how cheap this guy was, but it was ridiculously cheap. Unfortunately, he's no longer available at Sir Toys. I just checked this morning, and he was gone. And I went there just so I could see what the price was. And unfortunately, once the figure becomes unavailable, they take the price down. So what are you going to do? The rifle, once again, I wish this rifle was black. I'm probably going to fix that myself. Now, here's something interesting about the rifle. The tip of the rifle, water cannon, whatever, you can turn this around and fold it in there just like so. And that's all it does. So I don't really get it. I don't know why. I don't know if that's supposed to be his arm cannon like that or his rifle versus the water cannon. I don't really know, but it's kind of odd because the tip doesn't really hide away all the way either. As you can see, it's still sticking out. So I just leave the tip out all the time and just leave it as such. So yeah, I'm probably going to paint this black, and it'll probably look better. But there you go. You can put that right in his hand, and there you go. There's Optimus Prime, Drikold, whatever you want to call him, with his rifle. And for comparison, we'll bring back RID Optimus Prime, just so you can see. Again, at 5.5 inches tall, he makes a good, decent little deluxe class size figure. So there you go. Okay, yeah, I really like it. Unfortunately, I wish I could tell you to go out and get him because he is worth it. But like I said, unfortunately, he's no longer available. He was available at sirtoys.com. These guys are meant to be little combiners. Like, you've got these little slots on the top here, and they do kind of like this Energon combination where there's another figure that this guy would become the legs for, and the other figure would turn into the top half, and then vice versa. I'm not quite sure. I'd never seen how that works, and they've taken all the pictures down. So, but other than that, yeah, cool little figure. If you can find one, get it. He's totally worth it if you can find it for cheap enough. And I think with that, we're pretty much covered with Robo Revolution, Superheroes, Drikold, knockoff Optimus Prime. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.